Hey guys, it's me. I'm back. I know I said next time that I'd be talking about the DC teams for my new upcoming site, Geekdom, but I then thought about it and I got too amped up and too hyped about it and I glossed over some details. One of the most important things is that these sites will have twists, and so, at least the DC and Marvel parts, I've put my own twist on them. But I haven't told you what twists. Well, I am here now to tell you that here are the twists for DC. I will tell you Marvel's when we get there in January. And then I will get to the teams after I tell you the DC ones today. Like I said last time, I'm still nervous about this, so if I get a little rambly or stumble over my own words, that's why. Because I've never done something like this before. But let's just say something kind of gave me a swift kick in the back. So, let's get into these twists. Now, for today, there might be more out there, but for right now, here are 10 twists that I have set up in my DC Comics universe. Alright, first twist is, of course, the teams. And by that, I mean the different types of teams and who are on them. They will be a lot different than the ones that you see in the comics. Like, for instance, I have a 10-member Justice League with only one Green Lantern on it. And I will get to that in my next video. But just wanted to lay that groundwork first. Second one. This one's probably the least kind of in the level of importance, but I thought it needed to be said, and the rest of my list kind of has a flow to it, so I thought I'd go ahead and say it. The second twist is Harper Row is back as Bluebird. She comes out of retirement. I know she said that she wanted to take a break, but sometimes you just need to take a quick break. And whoever writes her can talk about her coming back. Alright, next one. This one is a big one. And that is Clark White, his Lois, and Jonathan Kent, their son, are not the only survivors of the old 52. They've just, like him, been in hiding, and I want to make a list, but there aren't that many. There won't be that many, and hopefully along the way, you and I will collectively come up with this together. But two other ones that I have myself came up with is number one, Cupid. But Cupid, the Harley Quinn of the Arrow universe, kind of. But for my twist, it's this Cupid, in case you ever want to introduce the Cupid into the New 52, which I don't think has happened. I could be wrong. Correct me if I am. I will own up to my own mistakes, but anyway, this version of Cupid will be going by the name Pink Arrow. Get it? Green Arrow, Pink Arrow, that type of stuff. I thought it would be cool to dive into her character and have her be more heroic, because we could always use more female archers, or archers in general. The other person that I came up with myself is Sin. Now, I'm talking about the comics version of Sin, not the TV show version of Sin, because in the comics, she ends up going by the name Cynthia Lance, and she becomes the adoptive daughter of Black Canary in Green Arrow. So I thought for this, she'd be still a teenager, but a little bit older, and now would be going by the name Green Canary. Get it? Reflecting both adoptive parents who she's presumably lost because she's a survivor and all. But anyway, let's move on to the next twist, and that is, in this world, the JSA is a thing. Now, based on the special, the Rebirth special, it was hinted that the JSA existed in that world, but they never really confirmed it. Well, I'm confirming it. For my site, the JSA would have been a team in the Golden Age and then disbanded. And so now they're going to be brought back, but I will go into that lineup later when I talk about the teams. But sorry, I've got a list here and the computer keeps wanting to fall asleep. And so that leads me to my next one, which is Karen Starr and Helena Wayne are back. They're back in our universe. Well, not ours, I mean the main universe. And whoever agrees to write one of them first gets to decide how. But, and the reason why I phrased it like that is because they will be back, but they will be separate. They will still be keeping in contact with each other because they are friends, but they're going to go their own directions in my world. And that leads me to my next rule, or my next twist, which is new people will take on forgotten mantles. And some of the forgotten mantles that could be taken up are like Arsenal, Squire. There is no Squire, because the whole story of the female Squire becoming the female knight was in Batman Incorporated, and technically, according to things, Batman Incorporated is canon in the New 52. And another person who could be taken up the mantle of is Insider. For those that don't know, Insider was the name that Bruce Wayne went by when he came back from the dead and wanted to check up and see how everyone was without revealing that he's back yet. And so he had a really cool power suit that could do multiple things, designed to take on merely anyone, honestly. But he could only access one power at a time, and it quickly drained a battery that he had, and if the battery ran out, he just relied on his own skills. So I think that's a cool character that can be delved into. Matter of fact, in my universe, I'm saying it now, that's the name that Helena Wayne goes by, is Insider. She borrows her father's suit from this universe. And that leads me to my next twist, which is that citizen characters will become heroes. And by that, I'm just saying that I'm opening up the gates here, that if you want a civilian character to become a hero, I will allow it. There's some out there that lend themselves to it more than others. Like, I think Julia Pennyworth, Alfred's daughter, would be an awesome hero in her own right. And maybe you could say that Colin Rowe, after seeing his sister come back as Bluebird, might want to be his own hero. Then, of course, you got the person who gets powers the most but never keeps them. Jimmy Olsen. Maybe he finally gets powers and decides to keep them, or just decides to be like Steel and use a power suit and be his own hero. Alright, next twist. Like I said, looking down at the list, sorry. New versions of old 52 characters will arise. And by that, I mean characters that we have yet to see in the new 52, who I've wanted to see be in this universe, will actually now start showing up. Who will? You guys decide. The two that come off my head right now, who I'd personally like to see, but I'm not going to write it, are Zenda Blake, the old 52 version of Lady Blackhawk, who is a time traveler. So, you know I like her. And also Zachary Zatara, Zatanna's cousin, who also has magic, but is a little bit more cocky. To me, he's kind of like what it would be like if Constantine and Zatanna had a kid. That's him to me. Alright, next one is also flipping that, is forgotten new 52 characters will be coming back in this world. And what do I mean by that? I mean characters who have shown up but then been randomly dropped for some reason, never showing up again. I encourage you to bring them back. People like Bunker and Tanya Spears, the Earth Prime Power Girl. Alright, so last twist to this whole thing, which also involves you, is original characters are more than welcome. And by that I mean, if you want to create a new character for this universe, whether it be a civilian who helps out the hero in their civilian life, a new love interest civilian, a new costumed love interest, anti-hero or hero, or just a straight up anti-hero, straight up hero, straight up villain. If you want to create new ones, you can. Because that's the whole entire thing that I'm trying to say here is, even though I'm setting straight up some rules and setting up teams and doing all this pre-hand, this is all about you and your creativity. I'm trying to spread that with this universe, because I know that personally when I was in sites like this, I really enjoyed it and enjoy it still currently. And I just want to share the love, but also I know that in these situations, if you don't set up and make things obvious to begin with, there will be questions in the future. So I just wanted to go ahead and say some of those rules now. So you better understand this world. And I hope you will join me next time, where I promise the next multi-geekdom video that you see will be the teams. Alright, till then, see ya, bye.